If you plan to use your condo for retirement, you better watch this video, because in this video, I'm going to share the 5 most crazy mistakes that 90% of you will make. So the first trap is really common. People like to talk about it all the time because a lot of property agents keep saying it, asset progression here, asset progression there, but most people get it wrong, and this is why. So you think asset progression is selling your HDB to upgrade to a private property, but that's only partially true. But asset progression means much more than that. It's about strategically moving your housing asset in a way that builds wealth over time. And I've seen a lot of people who think that going from a HDB to a private property is asset progression. And because of that, they just buy into a place with limited growth potential, or they choose layouts which are just not efficient at all. And most of them are blinded by a swimming pool view, a large balcony, or even condos with high ceilings. So they buy a property without knowing the fundamentals and long-term value. And that is trap number 1, thinking selling your HDB to go into a condo is asset progression, when it's actually more than that. So this next trap has nothing to do with the property itself, but it's such a big trap that it can make the best condo investment completely fail. So let's say you buy a condo, you took the full 75% loan, you use all your CPF OA, and you use all your cash profits to dump into the property. So here is where it all goes wrong. Because number 1, you don't have buffer for emergencies. For example, what if one spouse loses their job? Or what if interest rates go up? So what happens after that? So most likely you're gonna have to sell your property at any market cycle. Whether it's a good market or it's a bad market, you just have to sell. And after you sell, what are you gonna buy? Because all the properties after that is gonna get more and more expensive. And because of this, it's gonna cock up your retirement plans. So remember, don't go for the maximum budget. Don't use all your CPF, cash, and bank loan and then buy a property based on that. It's best to keep at least 12 to 24 months of property installment. You can do it via CPF or cash, because this buffer, although it looks small, is going to have a big impact, because it's going to protect you from having to sell your property during bad times. And that is mistake number 2, not having enough CPF and cash reserves to tide you through unforeseen circumstances. So even experienced condo buyers fall into the next trap I'm going to share with you. Before you buy a car, you have a checklist of what brand of car to buy. Is it EV or petrol? What's the exit plan of the car? And so many other factors. But when it comes to properties, you just buy the nicest house in the best location. So you must understand the location's potential beyond just convenient, and what are the new trends coming into the market that you might miss. So buying a condo without a framework is like throwing a dart blindfolded. Have a checklist of what you want in a property. What's your budget? So what are the fundamentals of a good property? And there is trap number 3, the framework trap. Okay, the 4th trap is something that's getting worse day by day. The intention of these people creating this problem is actually good, but it's beginning to become a tsunami that's going to overload you. It's so easy to create content nowadays. Just take out your phone and just spout out anything that you know about your experiences, about your property tips. And a lot of agents are doing this. They are literally spamming you with a lot of content. So AI is not helping, really. And it's so easy to do research nowadays. So just type into ChatGPT, just create a video, which I've never personally experienced before. I'm just going to give you second-hand information. So instead of getting lost in this tsunami of information, in this general content, focus on these specific elements. So let's say if you're buying a condo in Tampines, so you have to understand the future developments happening around. It's as simple as going to URA map and then looking at the master plan of what's happening. And the 4th trap is the information overload trap. So trap number 5 is a very Singaporean trap, because it is a safe option. Okay, Singaporeans don't like to take risks. So they just stay in their HDB flat and then just try to fully pay off their HDB using their CPF funds. And then retire using my CPF funds, which is in my house. But think about it, when you retire 20, 30 years later, your fully paid HDB will be like 40, 50, 60 years old. The lease balance will be so low that you can't find buyers for your property because of the lease decay. And it's going to be worth much less. So let's say if you're lucky and you manage to sell your HDB, and then you downsize to a smaller property, how much do you think you can actually cash out? $100,000? $200,000 if you're lucky? So is $200,000 enough for the next 30 years? Remember that your HDB is a one-trick pony. It is just a home. And by the time you come to your senses and you realize this track, it might be too late, because retirement is just 5 to 7 years away. And what's a better option? Buy a property with a multi-purpose wealth building tool. Have a long-term savings plan via the equity term loan. Can help you make a U-turn to a HDB much more easily with a lot more cash profits. Can be a life insurance tool if you know how to do it.
And trap number 5 is playing it too safe.
If you have a property right now, a HDB or a condo, and you're thinking, wow, my property value is going to come up and up and up. Remember this is just a post-COVID property boom. Paper value that you are sitting on is not going to last long. If you're thinking about how to leverage your current property to make it into a much bigger asset class that can help your family, your child, your retirement. So if you're interested, let's talk and see you in the next video.